One of the biggest questions that I get every single day, hands down from women, especially as they get older, is what is going on with this stubborn weight gain? Or why am I dealing with weight resistance, even though I haven't changed my diet or changed my exercise routine? And here's the deal: calories in versus calories out just doesn't align with what is happening with women's bodies, especially as we get older. Why are we struggling with poor metabolic function? Why are we struggling with insulin resistance, like 88% of us after the age of 40? And why are we struggling with this weight resistance? And here's the thing: there are multiple factors involved here, but one of the biggest ones is our endocrine system, our hormones. And two major players are going to be our reproductive hormones, progesterone and estrogen. See, as we head into perimenopause, into our late 30s and 40s, progesterone is one of those first hormones that we begin to lose and decline. And what a lot of people don't know is that progesterone is a stress protective hormone. And when we begin to lose it, we lose a little bit of that resilience when we are dealing with perceived stressors, which we're really dealing with those types of things all the time. Now, what happens when we are bombarded with perceived stressors and chronic stress, and we don't have that protection, we ultimately whack out cortisol and upregulate insulin, causing more insulin resistance. Now, the other hormone that I talked about is estrogen. Now, we don't lose that for a little bit longer, probably our mid to late 40s, but estrogen is a very protective hormone when it comes to insulin. And as we lose estrogen over time, we naturally become more insulin resistant unless we are making pivots with our bodies and our metabolism to kind of make up for the fact that we are losing two of these really beautifully protective hormones. Now, there are other reasons why our metabolism is heading downhill and we have more insulin resistance than ever before. One, we are more sedentary than ever. Our sleep is not as great as it used to be. We are dealing with a lot of environmental toxins, things that we put in our personal care products or cleaning products. I mean, everywhere we look, there's environmental toxin exposure. We are struggling with the types of foods that we're eating, when we're eating, how often we're eating, the frequency. And also, a big one is that as we get older, we lose muscle mass. And that has a big play in insulin levels and in stabilizing blood sugar levels. These are just a number of factors that I'm going to go into in this newest Essentially You podcast episode 274. So not only do I break down some of the biggest hormone players in this conversation, but also what we can do. Because here's the deal: our bodies are going to change. But the beautiful thing is we have the ability to pivot with our body. And the more that we can prepare ourselves for what's going to happen in the coming phases, the better that we can start to make those switches and changes. Things like increasing your amount of time that you're weightlifting, using heavier weights, maybe considering intermittent fasting, or even removing snacking altogether. There's lots of different ways that we can actually ramp up our metabolism, help to break through that weight resistance, and help to boost our metabolic function. Because at the end of the day, and what I love about this episode so much is it's all about cellular longevity and creating energy and boosting our metabolism, which will have us living a much longer and healthier life for many, many years to come. So I'm super excited to give you the 411 on all the nuts and bolts of what's going on with us, especially as we get older. So be sure to tune in to episode 274 that is live today.